Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back. I'm back to doing a vinyl haul video today after my last video, which was a book haul. Thank you to everybody who responded to that. I wasn't sure anybody would be really interested, but it got a few views. Anyway, yesterday was the latest Kendal record fair. So myself and my two friends went off to see what we could pick up, and this is my haul. First off was a freebie. One of my friends gave me this because he'd done what I often do and bought the same album twice. And this is Jethro Tull's 1976 album, Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. Another concept album by the band, based around an aging rocker. Probably their weakest album up to that point, but it's not bad. It has good songs on it, and it's well worth having in my collection. So thank you to my friend for passing this on to me. Right, let's have a look what we've got from the cheapo bins at Kendal. First up is this album, Kilroy Was Here, by Peggy Seeger and Ewan McCall. I recently bought a couple of their albums. I think that might have been from the Windermere Record Fair. Enjoyed them. Obviously, Peggy Seeger and Ewan McCall, folk singers, writers as well. This one was from 1980 originally. Originally released in the UK, but this is the US copy on Folkways. So looking forward to giving that one a listen. Another one that looks interesting, this is on Elektra and no, it's not the band The Blues Project. That's the name of the album. It's by various artists. John Kerner, Jeff Moldower, Dave Ray, Danny Kalb, Ian Buchanan, Mark Spoelstra and Erich von Schmidt. A compendium of the very best on the urban blues scene. This was meant to come with a booklet. Unfortunately, that seems to have gone missing over the years, but hey, what can you do? I like the sort of folk blues of this period. So I think this will be very enjoyable. One style of music I've always loved for a long time is early music. And so I was happy to pick up this album, Two Renaissance Dance Bands by the Early Music Consort of London and the Morley Consort, both directed by David Munro, well known for his early music. This is music from the mid to late 16th century. And this also features on Crumhorn's Phil Pickett. Now Phil Pickett went on to, apart from doing dozens of albums in this vein on his own, did a great album with Richard Thompson and the Fairport Rhythm Section. I think that was back in 1998, of this style of music but with electric backing. Superb album, unfortunately only available on CD. But he also was a member of the Morrison Band and for a short while played in the Albion Band. So this should be excellent stuff. Next up He's a twofer, and it's the first twofer from Fly Records, who did a number of these. And this is 2 albums by Joe Cocker. This is his first album, With a Little Help from My Friends, which was from 1969. Features the obviously his massive hit single of the Lennon McCartney number, With a Little Help from My Friends. Also features a couple of Dylan numbers, Just Like a Woman and I Shall Be Released. Playing on this is Matthew Fisher, Steve Winwood, B.J. Wilson, the great Procol drummer, Chris Staten and Henry McCulloch. Excellent album. And as the second part of the package is his self-titled second album. There you go. That's the other one. On this he does, he has his big hit also, Delta Lady, the Leon Russell number. Another Dylan number, Dear Landlord. Another Lennon McCartney, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. And on this album he's backed by the band, the Grease Band. Really pleased to pick this up. There's only a £5 for 2 albums. Looks in good nick. Hopefully I'll find that it plays well when I've given it a clean. Like I said, the Fly Records put out a number of these twofers. You can see 4 of them down here. The Joe Cocker, T-Rex, The Move and Procol Harum. Excellent stuff. The next one I picked up was shown recently by Mr. Bellamy, Mr. John Bellamy. And I really liked what I'd heard from the needle drop he did. So when I saw it yesterday, I had to pick it up. And that's the album by Marvin, Welch and Farrar, Second Opinion. Marvin and Welch are obviously Hank Marvin and Bruce Welch from the Shadows. And the third member is John Farrar. This is their second of 2 albums they did in the early 70s. This was, I think, 1972. And it's not what you'd expect from the Shadows members. It's in that sort of early 70s country Americana sort of singer-songwriter material. With close harmonies. I've seen it compared to CSN&Y. I don't think they did too well, unfortunately, because, sorry about the glare there, I think they fell between 2 stools. The Shadows fans, this isn't what they were expecting from their musical heroes, and I think the other rock fans, again, were probably put off by the fact that it was done by ex-Shadows members, or not even ex. They were the Shadows were running alongside this project. It seems they actually appeared on Cliff Richard's TV show around this time as well, and did a slot on one of his tours. Shame it never continued, but looking forward to this one. Oh, this one was, I just read, was actually voted as one of the top best sounding albums to have been recorded at Abbey Road in an unofficial poll of EMI sounding engineers. So that's one thing it's got going for it. Good stuff. Next one I've been looking for a long time for, and that's the sole album by the Global Village Trucking Company. they were again an early 70s sort of country Americana type band. First time I came across them was, I think, on the Greasy Truckers live album. Like I said, this is the only album they ever did. I think it's on Virgin, actually on Virgin's Caroline label. And this is, as you can see, a promotion only copy. Don't know whether that makes it any more valuable. But I enjoyed what I heard on the live album, so I've been looking for this for a long time. You don't see it around very often. Two of the members I've known from other bands. Pete Kirtley, the guitarist, went on to play with latter day Pentangle, and John McKenzie, the bassist, went on to play with Man for a short while. So another one, you could see a mini Holy Grail that I've been looking for a while. Oh, 1976 this was released. Getting back to some folk stuff, and speaking of Pentangle, this is The Lady and the Unicorn by obviously the great guitarist from Pentangle, John Renbourn. Superb album, consists of instrumental pieces, including, as is his wont, medieval music, folk tunes and early classical music. He does have Terry Cox on hand drums and glockenspiels supporting him on here, and Dave Swarbrick plays on a track as well. Anything by John Renbourn is well worth having. He was a superb guitarist. This is on Transatlantic from, when was it recorded? See if I can, wish they'd put it on the covers. 1970. So I'm slowly picking up John Renbourn albums as I see them. Why didn't they never go back in properly? I'm sure this never used to be a problem when I was younger. It's not an age thing, is it? Oh, I'll put it in late. And speaking of John Renbourn, another one by him. This is one of 4 or 5 albums he did with the excellent American ragtime blues guitarist Stephen Grossman. And this is on Kicking Mule. And again, it doesn't tell you when. When was it? This is 1979. Like I say, I think they did about 4 or 5 albums, including a live one. Two excellent acoustic guitarists. Looking forward to giving this one a listen. And sticking in the folk vein, recently I've been picking up quite a few of the Incredible String Band's albums, and this is Journey's End, the solo album, well, by Robin Williamson. This is, when I say solo, it's by Robin Williamson and his merry band, who after Incredible String Band were finished, I think Robin moved to California and created this band with American musicians called the Merry Band. I think they did 2 or 3 albums. This is the first, Journey's End, all written by Journey's Edge, all written by Robin Williamson with the exception of a couple of covers. This is from 1977. Don't think you can go much wrong with anything by Robin Williamson. Next up, another band that I've shown quite a bit recently. I think I've got just about all of their early 70s albums now. And this is the Edgar Broughton Band, just with their self-titled album. I think this was their third or fourth album. I think from what I've said before and the needle drops I've done, you'll know what to expect from the sort of freak, psych, bluesy rock of the Edgar Broughton Band. This is, but by all accounts, probably their most acclaimed album, I think. So I was glad to sort of complete my early Broughton's collection with this one. And next, I managed to pick up this album by the Irish folk rock duo Tir na Nog. This is their second album, A Tear and a Smile, on the Chrysalis label. And again, it doesn't tell me the year. Yes, on Chrysalis, 1972. Again, lovely folk rock sounds from this duo. Two excellent vocalists that they write all the material individually. Half the album is by Sonny Kendal and the other half by Leo Kelly, the two members. You also get bass by Larry Steele and drums by Barry D'Souza on this album. I'd love to be able to get the first album sometime. I'm keeping an eye out for that. And finally, I picked up a brand new album that was sealed that I've been wanting for a long time. And that is the wonderful Sandy Denny's first solo album, North Star, Grassman and the Ravens, from 1971. Now, this album, the only time I ever see it out in the wild is as later reissues from the 80s, I think, where it was just a single-sleeved jacket. I've been holding out to find a decent original of the album, but they're very expensive, and all of her albums tend to be. So this is actually one of the reissues they're doing this year of her 4 solo albums. Now, to me, this is her best solo album by far. She's a great songwriter, great vocalist, but I've always felt she was best in a group environment, with Fairport and with Fotheringay. And on this album, this is basically like a Fotheringay album. All the members of Fotheringay play on here: Jerry Conway, Pat Donaldson, her husband Trevor Lucas, Jerry Donahue, and you also get great Richard Thompson on guitar and a lot of this. So this is almost like a group album. Like I say, it's my favourite. Features the lovely Late November, her version of Dylan's Down in the Flood, which she used to do with Fairport when she rejoined, and the magnificent, one of my favourite of her songs, John the Gun. So I finally gave up waiting to try and find an original gatefold copy of this album. I've gone with the latest reissue. Excellent. And that's the end of the vinyl that I picked up. But I did pick up one little CD box set, and that's one of the latest in Grapefruit's series of compilations, 3 CD compilations. High in the Morning, the British progressive pop sounds of 1973. I love these Grapefruit compilations. They're great little sets with lovely booklets. And even though I tend to have a lot of the stuff that's on here, I just love the mixture of stuff. You get bands that are well known, like Mott the Hoople with All the Way from Memphis, Roxy Music with Do the Strand. You get the Kinks, Hawkwind, sensational Alex Harvey Band, Nazareth, Status Quo. But alongside those, you get bands or artists that are very obscure, like Rococo, Joe Soap, Mouse, Shoot, Prowler, Libido, Streak, Complex, Shape of the Rain, Reform. Lots of bands that probably only ever produce one single or something. Like I said, I tend to collect these as and when I can find them. The guy that runs the record fairs must have an in with somebody that can get hold of these, because he always has loads of the Grapefruit and Cherry Red box sets at prices far better than you can get them from Amazon. In fact, my friend yesterday picked up the Pentangle box set and the Plain Song one. So now I tend to wait till I've been to Kendal before I'll order these on Amazon. But I highly recommend these Grapefruit box sets. I know there's other people on the VC are also fans of these. And seeing as last time was a book haul, I couldn't get away without coming back with some books as well. The same guy that runs the record fair that does these little sets also had some of the books from Sonic Bond Publishing, the On Track and Decades volumes, which I'm collecting at the moment, as many as I can get of bands and artists that I like. So I managed to pick up for a £5 the one On Track Stackeridge, On Track Captain Beefheart. If you don't know these books, they go through the history of the artist, album by album and track by track. And in their other series, I managed to get Brian Eno in the 70s and Donovan in the 1960s. I don't really know why they do these as a different series to the on-track ones, because basically they follow the same sort of format, just more restricted in the era. Please pick up those. Saves me having to get these on Amazon. Anyway, that was my latest trip out. So I hope you're all well. And I hope to be back with you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.